Yes, it has been quite a busy week, and I'm struggling to think of any one specific instance. Um, One of the interesting situations we've had was a charity that we help, and the employee, we were aware they hadn't taken very much holiday, so they were going away for over Christmas. So, and the office that they're building was going to be closed. So we said, okay, you're going to take holiday, and we gave them the right amount of holiday. There are tricks to doing that, and we used one of our tricks, but we gave them the right amount of notice for them to take holiday. They were paid in full for their holiday. It's what they're legally entitled to. And since then, it has been email after email after email saying, you can't put me on holiday. This is so unfair. It's like, you weren't working. You don't get paid full pay. If you weren't on holiday, we can do that. But do you understand that if you're not on holiday and you're not in the sort of office, and we have no, let's be clear, we have no emails from you or phone calls during the Christmas period, because why would we? Then you are unpaid and you owe us 8 days money back. And they're just not getting it. And they keep saying what ACAS says. It's like, I don't care what ACAS says, because you've not told them the truth. You've not told them the truth. You've given them part of a story, because of course you would, because you're not an HR professional. You're giving them half the story, saying, oh, they made me take holiday and I didn't want to. No, we were fulfilling our legal obligations to make sure you had a rest break, a paid rest break, and you were away in Spain on holiday. You see, and then it's interesting as well, because she's one of these employees who likes writing long emails, and the thing is that I think they are very used to gaslighting, and it's very easy. I have dealt with people who do gaslighting previously. When you're having a conversation, it can be very easy to gaslight people, because you go, no, I didn't say that. And the person has not got a recording device in their head. They're like, well, you did. And you're like, no, I didn't. And you're like, did they? I don't know. Blah, blah. But you can't do that in an email, because guess what? You can just refer to the previous paragraph and go, you just said you were on holiday and now you're saying not holiday. So the first paragraph of the latest email, so daily emails, so much fun this, is that you can't put me on holiday because you didn't give me enough notice, so I wasn't on holiday over Christmas. And then 3 paragraphs further down, she says, I've got hundreds of emails that I was going to look at over Christmas, but you put me on holiday, so therefore I didn't do that. So you're agreeing now that you were on holiday, because you just said you weren't on holiday. So which one is it? Because, you can't have both at the same time. And it's just a little bit irritating. And the organisation didn't do it correctly. They didn't give her a contract at the beginning. It fell through the cracks, as it does in a very small organisation. So she actually started on the 12th of June, and she's like, right, so my leave year is not the calendar year, which is what we were working on. It's actually my start date, which is the 12th of June onwards. And I'm like, I'm not doing 12th of June. You can have the 1st of June. It has to be the 12th of June. It doesn't have to be the 12th of June. If you want to sue me for that, knock yourself out. ACAS will laugh you out of the building. It's just ridiculous, because you've got it from the 1st of June. You have your full entitlement. What is the problem? No, it has to be 12th of June. This is very unfair. It's not unfair. You've had all the holidays. But because we introduced a system, and this is why I would say, do not use spreadsheets. Please use one of the many, many pieces of software out there that give you the overview, because we always use the holiday tracker. I've sent the link out for that several times. I'm happy to send it again. But that is really clear. It's really easy to see how much holiday entitlement people have, how much they've taken, how much sickness, etc. And you put in what this person has had and what they're entitled to. Now, they didn't take any holiday officially. They will have taken a holiday, but still, we've got no record in 23-24. And because they didn't have a contract, they're allowed to bring over that full 20 days to the next year. No problem with that. So I put in that this year, she has 40 of her days holiday to take. Put it in, logged all the dates. And so it's all in there. But she has requested another 30 days holiday. So actually 20 days holiday. So she's had 40 days holiday this year paid, and she wants another 20 days. She's like, so that's that, but you owe me still another 20 days. And I'm like, no, here it is. This is what it is. No, that's not correct. You can't make me. And the fact that I didn't send you any emails or phone calls in July last year when I was in Spain again. So I'm just saying, Steve, just reminds me of you. I'm glad you're retiring and not trying to work remotely from Spain. But it's like, she's like, well, I was in Spain. And then she said, but I was working. And then the email today, again, can you not hear yourself? Please, you need to read your own emails when you're writing it. She then says, well, actually, when I went over to Spain last year, you may remember that I told you that my Wi-Fi wasn't working and I couldn't get my Wi-Fi to work. And I didn't actually have my work laptop with me because I left it in the office. And so I couldn't do any work from home. And I tried to do cafes, but they wouldn't work either because of security and everything. So I did work on my Apple Mac. And it's like, how come you've got an Apple Mac? But fine. And it's like, so you've just agreed that you weren't working for those 4 weeks. When we said you weren't working, you said, yes, I was working. No, you weren't. And you're also saying, well, that's why there's also no emails on my work account because I was doing all the work from my private email address. Okay, one, you still sent us no emails. None of the trustees got any emails from you at all in that 4-week period from whatever address. And two, just by the way, GDPR, privacy, that is a data breach because you were not authorized. You did not ask if you could do that. You just did that. You are not allowed to do organization emails from your private email address without authorization. So it's like, wow, just keep talking because there's just so much here that we can actually deal with. But it's, yes, so it's just very extreme victim. And I've not had somebody this extreme before. We've obviously had obstreperous employees before, but it's just, wow, get on top of your holidays, get on top on those things and make sure it stays through because it's only when, things are starting to crumble that it gets really quite vicious. So there you go. That was my saga for this week. I'm going to say, as you can tell, it's taking at least an hour of my work every day. So one client has an hour a day and the other 300 have the rest of the 7 hours. So there you go. So questions from anybody today? Lorraine, Tony, Steve, everybody's happy?
Caroline, I've got one on holiday.
Yes. Oh, hello. Yeah.
On holiday, can you force holiday to be taken by your staff at a certain time of year?
Yes. You have to give them twice as much notice as the length of holiday. And it has to be, so if you want them to take 5 days holiday, you have to give them 10 calendar days notice in writing.
Okay, this is just a request from one director about sort of over Christmas and things, right? So we can.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You can say, okay, and most people do already, but it's just to say it's going to be closed these days, and I'm telling you now, and that comes out of your allocation. And then you just make sure that they don't take more than what their annual allocation is.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Just thinking what else we have. We don't have any updates from the government yet on details for the October Bill of Rights. There was some moaning about it in Parliament this week, I saw from the Conservatives, but it's still in the thought processes. It is more at the moment, the HR community is thinking it's going to be 9 months trial period that we can still dismiss in rather than the 2 years. So, but as soon as we get any definite information on that, we will let you know, and we will make sure that all those probationary period meetings and everything, that process gets tightened up. And what I'm doing for some of the clients is actually doing training on training on employment law, but also disciplinaries, giving some feedback. It's not even before annual reviews. It's just to say, actually, if somebody's not performing, this is how you can raise it with them. Say, I'm really sorry, this is not quite how we do it. Let me show you how we do it. Let's tick off that we've trained them on it and do it that way. Yeah. So it's just, you need to make sure that your staff below general manager, because the general managers are usually very good at doing these sort of feedback sessions, but you can't be doing all of those yourselves. You need to be doing it. You need to have the lower level ones doing it and giving feedback. Yeah. Have you all got training in place for them, or even better, competent people doing it anyway? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just saying it's something to look at. Bear in mind before it gets to be a problem, because we will have to use that probation period very much more than we are now. That's the thing. And we're going to probably be having a 9-month probation period. So if you've got 3 months in your contract templates, we need to change that probably now to a minimum of 6 months for new starters. But just be aware that we're going to be changing that depending on what the government says. So even if you don't change it now, as soon as we do know what that is, we will change it so that it reflects, and everybody then is working towards. Actually, what we'll probably do is a Zoom session on how to structure the probationary period, what meetings to do, how you can do it, how you can give the feedback, etc. So we'll do all of that once we have a bit more detail from the government, and you can get your team to come on it if you want them to. But certainly we always have the recording available, so you could then give them the link to the recording and then they can watch it at double speed. So yeah, good. I'm going to say it is. Oh yes, Tony. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Just a quickie. Just with regards to references, when a previous employee asks for references, obviously in our company handbook we don't give detailed references. We just say they're employed between dates, etc.
Yes.
But one agency is insisting on detailed answers with grievances.
No.
I'm not comfortable.
No, it's like the only ones that I will give any detailed answers, which is a bit weird, is if it's about working with children and you had an example of it not being a suitable person for that. Okay?
Yeah, this is with younger children, younger adults, young persons, working with younger persons.
And have they done that with you? I don't know that you would really in a golf club. They've worked with, but vulnerable adults.
No, I'm talking not vulnerable, just between younger. I'm talking sort of between 18 and 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I'm just not feeling very comfortable about giving it. So I've said no. I'll just give a standard reference that they were employed between those dates.
Do you have any concerns about them working with young adults?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Then I would possibly suggest to them that you have a phone conversation. So do the official thing back and say, no, we just do standard things.
No email trail.
Yeah, no email trail.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I think
can I ask a question on sick pay?
Yes. Sorry, Mark. Yeah.
On sick pay, if someone's got something within their contract, they're allowed a certain number of sick days paid.
Yeah.
How do you change that?
Very difficult.
I thought you might say that.
Sorry. Yeah. How much are you talking about? Is it one of the horrible ones that's 3 months full pay, 3 months half pay?
No, it's 10 days sick in a 12-month period.
Okay, that doesn't sound particularly bad. Why do you want to change it?
Well, because they're the only one within that team that gets it.
Okay, but that's a whole different thing. That is then managing why they're off. They only get 10 days a year. I say it's still more than the others. I appreciate that. But what are they actually off with?
Well, that's what we're starting to monitor a little bit more things like, and make sure they're doing their return to work forms.
Yeah,
it's a little bit sort of unwell and sort of using words that wouldn't necessarily classify as a reason for being off sick.
Exactly. And then if they sit down with you to do it, you and their line manager to do that return to work interview, then that makes it much more uncomfortable for them. And that might be what helps them to think about it twice next time. But we can then, frequent short-term absence, which is what it sounds like, we can eventually do a disciplinary on that using the Bradford factor, which is how inconvenient it. That's the only sort of formula we're allowed to use for sickness absence. But I think it's making it as uncomfortable as possible, but also checking that they're doing the absence reporting procedure correctly, because we can discipline on them not reporting it correctly to the right person by the right time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So just keeping on top of that, and then when you're back, where are you on holiday at the moment?
I'm not actually. I'm just off today.
Sorry. I thought you may be off I've just got Spain on my mind. I'm just thinking somewhere sunny. That would be lovely. Yeah,
I wish.
yeah, I think we all wish, actually. It'd be nice. But yeah, so if you let me know what they've been doing, the frequency and everything, and their official reasons, and then we can put a plan in place for dealing with it going forward. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely. All right. Thanks, Mark. Okay. Well, then I'm going to hurry back to our inbox because there's quite a few questions there. But anything you have in the meantime, please send it through, and I'll see you all next week. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free tribunal audit of your employment contract and handbook, click the link in the description below.